Yes, there's a reason people traditionally make fried rice in a wok, but this is not traditional Chinese fried rice. If you do it in a big, wide-open griddle or some such, you can get tons of crispy brown bits that I think are darn tasty. Absolutely, you can make fried rice with leftover takeout rice. Leftover rice generally works better, but you can make the rice fresh. I like jasmine for this, and I think that's about a cup and a half, 300 grams of rice that I've got left in that bag, but I don't need to know for sure. I will wash this a little, swish, 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 and pour to get the excess free starch out. Separate grains are particularly important for fried rice. Do that a few times until the water runs clearer, and then I will simply measure the water via the old fingertip method. That is, enough water to come up to your first knuckle when you just touch the surface of the rice. That is not very precise, but it doesn't need to be for fried rice. Bring that to a boil, reduce to a simmer, cook for 15 minutes or until all the water is absorbed, and then the key thing for fried rice is to take it out to a plate or a board or something and let it steam off. The rice does not have to be cool per se, but it does need to be dry on the surface to fry up nicely. I'll flip this rice around a few times as it steams off to expose more surface to air. Use whatever vegetables you want. The safe way to quarter a carrot. Pinch it from above around the knife and slice down. Lay the pieces on their cut sides, and then they'll be more stable when you slice down again, and then you can just line them up and cross-cut. You need reasonably thin pieces that won't take too long to cook. I've got a red bell pepper, nice color from this. I will quarter this as well, and then slice short ribbons off of the quarters. I think that looks really nice, and again, it cooks fast. For some heat, I've got some kind of green chili here. I think it's an Anaheim, pretty mild, so I'm definitely leaving in the ribs and seeds for heat, and I'm keeping the veggies in separate piles because they're not all going in at the same time. A bunch of green onions, get rid of the roots and then slice, that's enough. Edamame, fresh and shelled soybeans, frozen, great vegetable protein. They do need to be cooked for a few minutes, not just thawed. I'm following the steam-in-bag instructions. I try to minimize microwaving food in plastic, but this will really save me time and dishes compared to boiling the beans. Here's my griddle. If I wanted it to be over 2 burners, it could go here, or diagonally here might fit even better, but I'm just putting it over my center burner so that I've got a hot zone in the middle and then cooler ends for holding things. Some avocado oil to get me started, and the first thing that goes in is the carrots. These take the longest to cook. My heat is pretty high. I want some browning on my veg for this, nice toasty flavor. Once the carrots are visibly starting to soften, I'll throw in both of my peppers and stir. Everything is sliding around beautifully on my new carbon steel griddle from Made In, sponsor of this video. With their 100-year family history in kitchen supply, Made In's founders partner with multi-generational factories and artisans to bring you these beautiful pieces. Enameled pieces, non-stick, stainless steel, and carbon steel like this. That's a travel bag for when you take this out grilling. Made In is used in more than 2,000 top-rated restaurants, La Bernardin in New York, Alinea in Chicago. Ooh, that's the smasher thingy for burgers or panini. There's optional leather handles. I'll give this a wash and then season it per the instructions. I'm usually a stainless steel man myself, but carbon steel is especially great for griddles. You can use it inside or outside with ridiculously high heat. It heats more evenly than cast iron, and it isn't so heavy, so you can backpack it. A thin layer of oil, and then in the oven for an hour. Out it comes. Beautiful seasoning coat and a huge amount of cooking space for when you need lots of surface area, which we do today. Check out the carbon steel griddle and Made In's other cookware by using my link in the description to save on your order. Thank you, Made In. When the peppers are visibly softening, I'll throw in the half of my onions from the white end because those pieces take longer to cook, but still only a minute or two. The veg looks 2/3 of the way cooked, which means it's time to push it all to the cool side just to wait for me. Plenty more avocado oil in the hot center, and then it's time to spread on the rice. I'll spread it as wide as I can to get maximum browning of the bottom layer, and then I'm going to start scraping. The brown bits of starch that you scrape up off the surface with a wooden spoon, that's the good part, trust me. It's like the crust on a paella. You may need some liquid to deglaze that stuff off the bottom, and traditionally you'd use soy sauce. I am using using Worcestershire sauce, which is basically a fermented fish sauce flavored with tamarind. We don't think of it as like Southeast Asian, but flavor-wise it is, and I'm going for Southeast Asian rather than Chinese flavors today. The sauce is salty, but I'll probably need some more salt, so a pinch or two to start with. And keeping with these Southeast Asian vibes, a big pinch of sugar on the rice is going to be very nice. Deglaze and scrape, deglaze and scrape. Use your eye to gauge the amount. Put in enough sauce until it's brown like fried rice usually is. It doesn't need to be homogeneous yet. I'll push it to one side and put on some more oil because I forgot to brown my beans. I meant to do this with the other veg, but it'll be fine. I like to see some color on the skins. You can do this with fresh lima beans too. Push that to the side, and last thing to cook is the eggs, if you want them. Crack onto oil, and then I think I can kill the heat. I've got more than enough heat in the metal to finish this up. I'll season those eggs a little directly because I plan to leave them in reasonably big chunks. I want the chunks to be seasoned through a bit. Scramble, scramble. Again, keeping with my Thai-style vibe, I will zest in a lime here at the very end, and then the juice too. The juice will help me deglaze some more. I've got some sesame seeds, and those sound good, so in they go. The onion greens go in here at the last minute to keep them green, along with some handfuls of cilantro. Time to toss everything together, and then we can taste and adjust. It's real good, and I think it just needs some more salt and maybe some more sugar. I love cooking the kind of food where you don't need a recipe. You can just stir things in, taste it, stir in some more stuff. Fried rice is a dish like that. You almost can't screw it up if you just keep tasting. Hey, if you do this on a griddle like I did, consider just serving it on the griddle. It looks beautiful right there. The griddle is already dirty, and it will keep the food hot. Plus, it has the advantage of already having the food on it. Everybody just grab forks and go to town. A killer one-pan dinner. Love those crispy browned rice bits on the bottom, and between the beans and eggs, we've got plenty of protein with no meat, other than the tiny fermented fish in the Worcestershire sauce. Hey, use soy sauce if you're not into that, but I am.